of Championship this year, and Elmer knows his way around these mountains. There is the Desert Fox, the king of the roof, Alfie Cox, out there on the 380 KTM. Look at the terrain that these riders have to contend with. Almost 1,000 Ks of racing over this sort of stuff. Rocks, mud, sand, dust, it's all here. The Roof of Africa, renowned to be one of the toughest off-road races in the world. We look down from our helicopter with Wayne Farmer on the Russell Campbell Eclipse Racing Kawasaki climbing up the mountains. This is Daryl Curtis. Curtis flies over the Lesotho Mountains. They're heading for the Baboons Pass section of the race. So by our calculation right now, Curtis has got himself into 4th place behind Wayne Farmer. That's Curtis then on the Shimwells Yamaha. Look how he sits down in the saddle and flies down the side of the mountain. How dangerous can it be? Daryl won the roof in 1996. He came second in 94 and in 95 and third in 99. Right, that's A.T. Vanner getting away on the Husqvarna, so this is further down the field. These will be contenders, though, for overall finishes. Andrew Ogden on bike number 1 there. Right next to him, 900 Errol Dalton, and then we've got Brian Kappa here on 56. On the far side, Dieter Hupp, our German visitors. In fact, we've got 18 international riders taking part this time around. We've got riders from the United Arab Emirates, from England, from America, from Germany, from Austria, and from France.
Brett, a lot of dust. Obviously the idea is to try and get ahead of some of these guys.
Absolutely, but don't worry too much because the mountains, there's no dust, just plenty of rocks, so we don't worry about the dust.
We've managed to catch up with Jürgen Schroeder all the way from Germany. Jürgen, I believe you hurt your knee yesterday in the time trial. How do you think today is going to go?
I think it's a hard ride for me, so I will be happy when I finish until 6 o'clock in the evening. So.
Fantastic. Well, good luck, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you, Steve.
Right out in the mountain passes, Elmer Simmons is making his way up towards Baboons. Our cameraman shoots across the valley to pick up these pictures of the leader, Elmer Simmons. Is he going to win the Roof of Africa? Well, he knows his way around the mountains. We're waiting on the path to see him come up there, but Elmer has gone the other way around that mountain. This is Jade Goodside. Jade Goodside has got himself up to 2nd place on the KTM. Now, Goodside has been riding overseas this year, so he's got a lot of mountain climbing experience. This is Alfie Cox. He's in 3rd place at the moment by our calculations with a 380 KTM. Oh, they've got 40 Ks uphill with these sort of rocks to climb. The Roof of Africa is not forgiving, to say the least. Daryl Curtis now behind Alfie. And that is Barry Creel from KwaZulu-Natal on 265. So the KwaZulu-Natalians know how to climb the mountains. That is for sure. Grey Dick on the Shimwells 426 Yamaha, not the ideal bike for this sort of racing. Jeffrey Wallater goes through with a 2-stroke KTM. Mr. Consistency all through this year. Wayne Farmer, he's coming on strong of late in the national championships with the Kawasaki. Good to see Kawa doing well in off-road racing. That's Alex Vowles. He's also doing well this year in the nationals, climbing up the mountain.
Brett, long way to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day. I think the heat's going to play a lot of toll on the guys, but we're ready, yeah? And it's my 3rd attempt, and hopefully we can make this one.
We've got Neil Bumpus here. Neil, you had a bad day yesterday with your magneto burning out. Why do you do this?
It's a long day today. There are plenty boys we're going to pass. It's not a problem. We did it last year. As long as the rain doesn't come, we're home and dry. Not a problem. It's a long, long 12 hours today.
Good, man. I see the roof makes you rough. Good luck, mate.
Have a full go, having a full go.
Bibi, you've done so many Roof of Africas. How many is this for you?
I think it's the 11th one. My first one is 1980.
1980, 12 years ago. Hubi, I hope you certainly get ahead of some of these guys, some of these young bucks here.
I'm going fishing. I'm going to have 20 baboons.
We'll see you at the top there. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Look who we've just managed to catch up with. Cornell, the Bombardier wagon here. Looks like you guys have got your team and your bikes ready to roll. How are you feeling?
A bit nervous for today. The time trial was long. It's something new for us. Today actually feels like a 2nd day, but I'm feeling strong and I believe it will go well.
Obviously the dust today is going to be a major problem along with the heat.
Yeah, the heat I think is going to be the worst. The dust at the roof is usually not that a big problem. but the heat is definitely gonna make the difference.
I'm sure it will. Backup all important in the Roof of Africa, and the backup teams heading out into the mountains to place those refuel drums out there so the riders can refuel. They will have to refuel 3 times today in the mountains, and we've got ourselves a guest policeman. Steve comes through with the KTM Adventure. He's heading down to our further camera position, and this is how we get our cameramen around the mountains. That's a good advert for Mercurius Motors with the Colt, and Elmer Simmons comes into the first refuel.
Lovely, lovely. It's rough, man. Lovely pause, but really wide awake. These mountains can catch you off guard so quickly. Having fun.
Well, Elmer knows his way around the mountains, obviously enjoying his ride today, especially with that sort of lead he's got. The spectators look out over the Lesotho mountains and check out the riders coming in. We've got ourselves an Eric Clapton standing out there as well to welcome the riders. Daryl Curtis comes into the refuel point. He's now moved up to second place.
What's up? Beautiful.
Gradick just behind him, and that is Jade Goodside on JG. It looks like Alfie Cox coming in just behind them into the refuel, so it's tight for second, third, fourth and fifth places at the moment. Elmer Simmons, don't forget, has got that lead at the front of the field. Jeffrey Wallader comes in on 266. He lives just down the road from Alfie Cox in KwaZulu-Natal. Wayne Farmer arrives on the Kawasaki. They've got 15 minutes in which to refuel and sort out any problems on the bike. Looks like one of the Katums has bent a brake pedal there. That's Alfie's bike. They're just doing some running repairs before he heads back out towards Baboon's Pass. It's thirsty work, and they have to carry a lot of water for today's race. Wayne Farmer with a Kawasaki, and looks like Bernard Johnson's got no work to do on his Yamaha. The Shimwell's guys looking for some work. Rian Fanika gets refueled and rewatered, as does Tom Claassen. We'll be back with more of the roof after the break.
The next few short seconds could be vital in the survival of the Dakar. Imagine what could happen over 17 days. 8,500 kilometers through 5 different countries. The Dakar 2003, where anything can happen. Exclusive to Supersport. From the 1st of January, you can't afford to miss a second. Sponsored by Total Quartz Lubricants. 30 seconds, and it's all over.
Don't start by Michael Schumacher. But Michael Schumacher's done it today.
Oh, Hughes, wonderful to be Dallas Park, and yes, if it's action you want, I think you've come to the right place. He's kicked it, celebrate.
Well, big-time cricket is about to get underway.
With Supersport 4 on Channel 24, you can now experience the best moments all over again.
The Cockney Cup final, cups to cut.
And again. Or, if you missed it, catch all the highlights in your own time.
Hey, where have you been? At training, sorry, have I missed anything?
Supersport 4 on Channel 24, only on DSTV.
You're watching Two Wheels, and we are in the Lesotho Mountains to take in highlights of the Roof of Africa International Off-Road event. And you can see that it's tough for these riders going through the mountains. Ulrich Pop goes through on bike number 13. And this is Kevin DuPont.
14th roof. Hopefully I can get the finish. What else do you want to know? How easy it is. Why didn't you get out there and give it a shot?
Well, Kevin, we know it is tough. This is the Husqvarna AT Vanna is absolutely flying along with the Husqvarna. He's ahead of Andrew Ogden in the 200cc class. Ogden always cheerful, waves to our camera and says good morning. Brian Kappa in the 125s. For the first time out on a 125, he's a bit big for one of those. This is Quinton Milton on 35. And that is Jason Krause with a big KTM. That's one of our international riders, Dieter Hupp. He's flying up towards Baboon's Pass. Dominic Finnis goes through with a 380 KTM, and it looks like Anton Bluchnert has got a problem there with his TM. He's tangled with a KTM out on the track. Can't be happy about that one. Climb, climb, climb. This is Bernd Hupfauf, the German rider. In fact, he's from Austria. He normally is a downhill skier, but here he is climbing the mountains of Lesotho. Through goes Rick Hartigan 284, and that is one of the Volschmidts from Namibia. Sean Gunter with the quads. We've got a whole bunch of quads riding through here today. Clayton Duplessis goes through on L7, and that is a Brendan Bircher on 90 with a Yamaha Raptor. Quite like it when they have the flags on the back of those bikes. Patrick Ambasseur, one of our French riders, one of our international riders, comes through. Behind him, PJ Fourie, and just behind him it'll be Paul Komsa with the Yamaha Raptor. They've certainly got those going well this year. That is Charles Jonker going through, and there are problems in the mountains. This is what it's like to ride the roof of Africa. How tough is this? Is that Kevin Hoffman who's battling with his bike? It looks like him on bike number 20. And one of the senior riders goes through, just trying to pick who that up. It could be Denzel Tolage there on 732. And that is Angelos Pondikos. He's going down the side of the mountain. You've got to be a mountain goat to be able to ride the roof of Africa. It's a test of man against machine. Follow my leader down the side of the mountain. You don't want to make a slip and go down there. Ross Anderson just falling over there. Boy, the boys are battling. Next to him is Loris Vaccarino. And this is Daryl Curtis. He's got himself over the mountain. A bit more speed in from Daryl. Take a look at the beautiful countryside this year and the roof of Africa. They've tried it in all different times of the year to avoid the snow and the cold. Now it is blazingly hot. Elmer Simmons. This is the slide your ass section of the roof of Africa. It gets tougher and tougher as they go down towards the finish line. This is Daryl. Oh, so difficult for these riders. In fact, he's going up baboons, and right behind him, that is Grey Dick on the Shimwell's Yamahas. That's the two teammates then flying along up that section of the track. Barry Creel, feet out, fighting it through the rocks. They've got 44 Ks of climbing. Jay Goodside just behind him. These riders must be wondering, what the hell are we doing here climbing up baboons? This is the toughest part of the roof of Africa. Alfie Cox, how many times has he climbed up here? Hello to our cameraman, and carry on with the job at hand. Wayne Farmer. They're running those mooses in the tires because if you get a puncture, well, that's the end of it, isn't it? That's Alex Vals making use of the mooses back and front. Clayton Estlin, he's further down the field and we'd like to see him, when he'd like to see himself at least. Wheel spinning, trying to get traction. Jeffrey Wallater psychs himself up to climb up the rest of baboons. He's got about 23 Ks of climbing to go. This is Graham McLaughlin.
Hold the bike here, chaps. This is going to be a good shot. I'm going to dive in the water. Summer! Oh. Thanks, sir.
Talk about America's funniest home videos. There Steve holds the bike as McLaughlin goes for a swim. But the riders are overheating, as are the motorcycles, having a lot of problems out there on the track.
That was me. But Suzuki's going strong. We're going to finish the route. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Bert! Hey! all right. Yeah, we've got Bert Hupfauf from Red Bull. And Bert, your Austrian machine here seems to be smoking, man. What's going on?
Yeah, luckily the machine is smoking and not me. So as long as the bike smokes and I don't, I keep on riding.
Well, we'll give you a smoke at the end. Well done. That was a hell of a pass. How did you find it?
Well, the only thing I thought to myself, like, stop whining. Austria is mountains. This is not mountains. Show those guys down here what real mountains is and make your way up here.
The mountains in the background are over 4,000 meters in altitude, so I guess you're used to that sort of
yeah, at least that was what I was telling to myself all the time. This was the thing that brought me up here, I guess.
Fantastic.
It was just like, I want.
Well, Bernd, you've only got 250 kilometers to go.
Only?
Yeah.
I thought it's more. Well, that's easy.
Good luck, mates.
See you tonight for a beer.
Cheers.
Well, you have to have a sense of humor when you ride in the Roof of Africa, that is for sure. Denzel Talaja goes through in the senior class, and the Volschmidts from Namibia are battling with the Roof.
A little bit fun, but a little bit off-cock as well. It's nearly over. You got energy for slide your horse again. No?
It's certainly hot and nasty, and the bikes are taking strain. This is Gareth Ireland. Look at the steam out of the KTM.
Okay, we've got Wade Blau from Selly's Yamaha on a YZ250. We're just over the other side of Baboons. What happened, Wade?
I fried the clutch. It doesn't want to move anymore. That's it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, most of the guys were overheating their radiators, but you seem to have cooked the clutch.
Yeah, I cooked the radiator as well, but I used all the water out of my Camelback, but that's it.
So basically you've cooked the goose.
Basically.
Yeah. Time to light up a camel.
This is Slide Your Ass downhill now, back towards the finish. Elmer Simmons is absolutely exhausted.
You got about a 15-minute lead. About 15.
Our cameraman then informs Elmer that he's got a 15-minute lead over Jade Goodside. Down the Slide Your Ass, Goodside stands up on the pegs, balances the bike. That's the way to do it. Sitting down, you don't have as much balance. Imagine doing this all day long for 2 days. Clayton Enslin stretches his hamstrings as he pulls that KTM around. This is Alfie Cox, loving life. It's 35 degrees in the mountains, and the riders and the bikes are feeling it. Barry Creel, absolutely knackered. This is Grey Dick. Oh, almost over the handlebars. We'll be happy to have electric start 450 Yamaha next year, that is for sure. Alex Vowles comes through. He makes it look a lot easier, as does Quentin Moulton. This is A.T. Van on Husqvarna. He's having a great ride this year in the Roof. Jeffrey Wallater, he's also tired. Brian Capper, the trials rider, he's used to this sort of thing.
Come, gentlemen, you're supposed to be having a break.
How's it? How did you get here? Great difficulty.
Yeah.
Our cameraman's found a couple of lurkers in the bush.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Top of the world.
Need to get a bit of water.
Are you finding the route?
No, it's really nice. This section's the most tough. It's the toughest section. But we prepared for it. So we're gonna have a rest now. Fill up my Camelback, sit in the shade.
It's Wayne Farmer and Tom Claassen. They found a stream to fill up some water. Rian Funike, he doesn't need water, he just carries on going. He's past Tom Claassen and Wayne Farmer then. But they know it's a long way to go still.
Can you relax? Okay on now. Take a lot of fluid.
Yeah.
Oh.
The riders are feeling the heat. They're exhausted. This is Bernard Johnston. He's almost collapsing with heat exhaustion.
You can also partake of Slide Your Ass's little water break.
Definitely. Jesus. Yeah. It's cold.
Bernard is so tired he can't even talk.
Park your bike in. Yeah, you'll read it, bud. There's water over there. Waterfall, go sit in the shade, chill out. Carry on later, huh? That's the Muriverfall. Muriverfall. You go to the bottom here. You're not at the bottom yet.
Yeah.
Then you turn right, Rebene. Then back to Roma, where we started. And then it's 150 k's to the end, but...
Yeah, but how far is the pass?
Oh, it's still far.
And Unbelievable. Good advice from Tom Claassen. Bernard, get some water in you.
Yeah. How's it doing? Oh, good. I'm not too rough.
200 Ks to go before the finish. As they go down, slide your ass. Dieter Hupp goes through, one of our Austrian riders. Oh, that's got to be sore. Struggling to start the KTM now. Exhaustion is taking its toll. How's it? Andrew Ogden, he's rather sprightly for this time of the day. And that's Jason Krauser in the open class from the KTM. They call it slide your ass, and at the bottom there's a couple of river crossings. Now the Clubmans and the quads, they ride on the same course, as do some of the Ulysses class. They have got a big entry this year in those classes. Looks like one of the tire inflators has burst on that Bombardier. That's to pump the tires up in case of a puncture. You can see all that foam coming out of that tire inflator. One of the Yamaha Banshees goes through that river section. They've only got about 40 Ks to go now for the finish. Easy does it through the water. Don't want to drown one of those quads, the Raptors and the Bombardiers. That's the fight this year, with the Banshees thrown in and the gas of Dion Belcher for good measure. Kian Reinecker looks like he's drowned his Raptor there. And this is Alex Sally from Sally's Yamaha having a good ride on the Raptor. Marius Denecker goes through. Looks like a Honda, or was that a Bombardier? And this is Patrick Amabassier, the French rider. PA is his number on the back of that quad. It's one of those Suzukis. Oh, the DZR having a great time here on the roof. Elmer Simmons, not long to go now. He's got this one pretty much well wrapped up. That mountain section where he knew the pass, he knew which way to go. Picked him up all that important 13 minutes. And here's the dice. That's Rian van Niekerk, and it looks like Jay Goodside. No, in fact, it's Barry Creel. So Rian van Niekerk, who suffered a penalty the day before, he's picked up an enormous amount of time, and he's moved himself up to 12th overall and 3rd on the road. Incredible stuff then from Rian van Niekerk on the KTM 200. Alfie Cox has got them in his sights as well. So Alfie is chasing them down for that 2nd place overall. But the winner, here we are at the finish line. Fantastic ride from Elmer Simmons. He's won the Roof of Africa 2002. Well done to Peter Luck, clerk of the course, for a well-run event with his Lesotho Off-Road Club and the Lesotho Sun for sponsoring this event. So the roof comes to an end once again, and Rian van Niekerk, 12th overall, 2nd on the road. He climbed up that mountain down the other side like nobody else. And Alfie Cox then 2nd on the road and 2nd overall. Let's take a look then at the results for this year's Roof of Africa. Until next week, stay on 2 wheels.